Milky Way Prologue, The Birth of the Six Eyes. The Gojo clan had whispered for centuries that the Six Eyes only appeared once in many generations, as though the heavens themselves had to wait for the right vessel. Satoru's birth was not merely celebrated within his family, it was feared by outsiders. In that moment, the balance of the Jujutsu world shifted. His first cries rang through the clan's halls like a prophecy. Elders bowed their heads, some in reverence, others in dread, for they understood that a child born with the six eyes would inevitably see the world not as mortals do, but as if every thread of cursed energy was laid bare like strands of silk in the sunlight. From the very beginning, Satoru was not allowed to be just a boy. He was the Gojo heir, the Six Eyes incarnate, the one destined to master the limitless cursed technique. His existence symbolized both salvation and danger, salvation for his allies, danger for those who feared imbalance. Yet even in his crib, his eyes shimmered with unnatural clarity. His mother once described them as mirrors that reflected everything, yet gave nothing back. Childhood and awakening. Satoru's early years were marked by paradox. To other children, the world was messy, unpredictable, blurry with wonder. To him, it was too clear. He could perceive every fluctuation of cursed energy, every tiny leak from a talisman, every foul ripple from a cursed spirit slithering in the shadows. The Six Eyes made him hyper-aware. This gift was also a prison. Imagine being 5 years old and seeing the world's truths stripped of comfort. The lies adults told, the malice hidden in smiles, the monsters no one else acknowledged. Loneliness became his first real companion. Even among the Gojo clan, who revered him, he was isolated. People looked at him less as Satoru the boy and more as Satoru the weapon. When his limitless technique manifested, the world changed again. Infinity wasn't abstract, it was real. He could stop objects from ever reaching him, bend the laws of space, create divisions that could never be crossed. For a child, such power was intoxicating yet alienating. Other children played with toys. Satoru learned to bend reality. While they scraped their knees, he learned what it meant to be untouchable. And that, more than anything, separated him. Handshake Shoko, Suguru and bonds. At Jujutsu High, for the first time, Satoru found something resembling belonging. Shoko Yiri's sharp wit, her calm medical knowledge, and her refusal to be overawed by his six eyes grounded him. She saw Satoru the person, not just the legend. Suguru Geto, meanwhile, became something far greater, a brother in arms, someone who could challenge his ideals, laugh with him, and even clash with him without fear. With them, Gojo felt a taste of normalcy. Training, laughing, and living like teenagers who bore too much responsibility. But even here, cracks formed. Gojo's strength grew exponentially, pulling him further ahead, while Suguru began to question humanity itself. This divergence carved an invisible chasm between them. Satoru's belief that strength must protect collided with Suguru's conviction that weakness corrupted. The bonds he forged here became the foundation of his adulthood. Shoko, the reminder of compassion; Suguru, the scar of betrayal; the school itself, the weight of responsibility. They were the moments that reminded him that even gods crave companionship. Cross the Shibuya Nightmare, reimagined. On the surface, Gojo's Shibuya confrontation is remembered as a demonstration of overwhelming force. He faced curses, enemies, and conspiracies all at once. But in the quiet spaces between blows, what he confronted most deeply was himself. His six eyes registered every enemy, every curse, every trap simultaneously. His infinity made him untouchable, yet deep inside he knew his strength painted him as a solitary pillar. Could even the strongest truly save everyone? The screams of civilians, the chaos of allies fighting miles away, he saw it all. He was limitless, and yet he was only one man. The Shibuya Incident Reimagined in prose becomes less about the punches and more about the suffocating pressure. A god among mortals, trapped in the paradox of omnipotence without omnipresence. His battle wasn't simply against curses, it was against inevitability, against the reality that no matter how strong he was, he couldn't rewrite the nature of human suffering. Cyclone the philosophy of strength. Gojo, mantra, only the strong can protect, was not arrogance, but a survival law carved into him since childhood. He had seen what weakness wrought, Innocents slaughtered by curses, allies broken by missions beyond their ability, Suguru falling into despair because he couldn't reconcile strength and weakness. To Gojo, power wasn't luxury. It was duty. But the contradiction gnawed at him. If strength was meant to protect, who protected the strong? Who understood the crushing solitude of seeing further than anyone else? He began to wear his cocky grin as armor, his playful words as camouflage. Behind those blindfolds and sunglasses lay a truth. The strongest sorcerer in the world was also the loneliest. Milky Way resolution. Whether he triumphed in battle or met his downfall, Gojo's legacy wasn't about victory. It was about ideals. His life asked a question no sorcerer could answer easily. What does it mean to be the strongest? Is it to dominate, to crush enemies? Or is it to endure, to keep standing when no one else can? Perhaps it is neither. Perhaps being the strongest meant carrying the burden of isolation, so others wouldn't have to. In the end, Gojo Satoru's story is not simply about cursed techniques or dazzling battles. It is about a man born to be limitless, yet bound by human fragility. A man who laughed in the face of gods and curses, but who quietly wondered if anyone could ever see the boy behind the 6 eyes.